Hello everybody, welcome back to Firefield Junction, and today I've got a rather special review for you. As we can see today, we have got something that has been very long awaited for. It's been followed since the beginning, but they're finally here. We finally have the brand new accurascale TPE Express Mk5 coaches. Oh my god, it's been, well, feels like it's been decades almost since accurascale announced these. But after waiting for a long time, they finally arrived. I know it's been a little while since they've arrived now when I'm filming this video, but they are here, and I finally got round to looking at some. Now, these aren't mine. Might as well say that. I've got to say that to start with. These coaches, they do not belong to me. These do belong to a friend. I was never going to get any anyway, because obviously they're not the right region for me. Obviously, they're the right era because they're modern, and I obviously do like my modern stuff. However, they're the wrong region, so I was never going to get some. However, a friend of mine did get some, and they very kindly loaned them to me so that we can do a review on them and we can have a look at them and we can see what they're like. Now, first things first is the box. It is absolutely massive, probably a little bit too big maybe, I'd say. Certainly for 5 coaches, it's a very big box, but saying that, it's a very nice box. It looks fantastic, probably one of the best looking boxes out there, I reckon. And it feels very sturdy, it's very high quality. Definitely going to protect your coaches very, very well. And as we can see on the front, we've got a very nice artwork of the coaches as well. It looks very, very nice. The Caledonian Sleeper ones, I believe they're similar. I can't quite remember at the moment exactly what the Caledonian Sleeper coach box was like, but I'm fairly certain it probably was or is similar like this. It looks very, very good. And obviously it's accurascale. I haven't looked at anything from accurascale before, so this will be my first it might be my first experience with them. Saying that, we have already, when my friend dropped these off, we did give them a run around the layout, so I already know roughly what they're like, in terms of how they perform anyway. And obviously we'll see that later, but I haven't actually looked at them close up yet, so I don't know fully what the details like. But we're obviously going to find that out today. If we look at the side of the box, I believe it's on this side. No, it's not. I think it's on the other side. Yeah, there we go. We've got the information here about what we've got inside. So we can see there, so we've got a TPE Express CAF, so it's the CAF who built these, Mk5As, Nova 3s, coach set. This is pack number 2. Obviously, your accurascale did 2 different packs. You could do pack 1 or pack 2. This particular one is pack 2, and then this the model code is ACC 22352. And we can see we've got a photo there of all the coaches inside. So we've got a DT, a T1, a T2, a T3, and the T3 times 2. Era 11, so bang up to date. Literally can't get any more modern than that. Optimized for ESU lock sound decoders. That's quite nice. I'm fairly certain that very, very soon someone will do a sound decoder for these. We'll have to see who though. Is there anything on the back of the box? No, nothing on the back of the box. So I suppose without wasting any more time, we obviously want to, well, I think we just need to open the box and have a look at them, don't we? So if we just open this up, so we take the lid off. So first things first, we've got the instructions here. Obviously, one thing about these, obviously they run with the class 68. So if you're going to run these, you're mainly going to run them with a class 68. However, when these were being delivered and they were dragged to the depots that they needed to go to, there was quite a variety of locos that actually hauled these. So in terms of what you can run these behind, you've actually got quite a decent amount of locos. For example, Freightliner Class 70s did haul them at points when they were being moved from Bristol docks up north, where they obviously belong. So you can run them with those, and I'm sure there's loads of other locos that you can run them with as well. So you don't just have to run them with Class 68s if you don't want to. If you want to recreate some sort of drag, there's quite a few locos that you can run them with. So first things is the instructions, and they look very, very nice as well. We've got a very nice shiny image there of the real thing, and it looks very, very good. And we've got history there. Obviously, if you want to, you can read through that. So I'll try and get it so that the light isn't reflecting off it so much, so you can read it if you want to. Let's have a look inside. What else have we got? Here we go. So this is the important stuff. So assembling the formation. So basically how to, what order you need to put them in to make it correct. What we've got over here, so we've got DCC decoder fitting and body removal. So it looks like it's just some clips, I believe, and I believe it is quite easy to get the body off on these. These already have been shipped, by the way. There is a decoder in the end unit, so when we run it on DCC, we can control the various functions. Apart from the interior lights though, they're still done via the magic wand that accurascale provide. However, this particular pack, unfortunately, the wand was missing from this pack when my friend got it, so we don't have the wand in this instance. However, that's not too bad, because obviously we're running it on DCC anyway, so we don't need to worry about really using the wand anyway, but we don't have it here, unfortunately. But it looks like removing the body, yep, just a few clips, and then the body does come off quite easily, I believe. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so now, oh, come on camera, focus. Come on. There we go. I think it's just a big sheet of white that's playing havoc with the camera. But anyway, there we go. So as we can see there, so we've got all of the different parts included in these coaches. A lot of different parts, although as I'm sure you're probably familiar with the accurascale. They always go all in. They don't hang about. They always give us the best that they can. 99% of the time anyway. And yeah, it's the same on the other coaches. So it looks like we've got a diagram for every single different coach that's inside the packs. That's quite nice. And I believe that's it. Oh no, we've got one more thing on the back here. Okay, activating interior lights. So it basically just shows you whereabouts to activate and turn off the interior lights with the wand. So it's basically around the centre of the coach. It would be nice if we could control them on DCC, but obviously to do that, they would have to use electrical couplings between all of the coaches, and that would make them more expensive, would make them more fragile as well. So I'm sure this method is not too bad, I suppose. But yeah, overall not too bad. And then we've got general information there, couplings, all the important stuff. So you put that to one side, we can lift up the foam, and we can see for the first time what they're like. And there they are. And as you can see already, looking at them, they look fantastic. So start off with, need to lift up. I think there's some plastic here first. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll lift the tray out of the box first then. So we've put the box to one side, so we've just got the tray here. Oh, there we go. So if we lift up this plastic, if it wants to, there we go. It's coming slowly. They're very well packaged, so you shouldn't have any damage. Well, this must be the most bulletproof packaging ever, I think, on a model. There we go. Got there eventually. So put that to one side. So we'll start off with, we'll have a look at one of the regular coaches first. We might as well do the bottom one. So we'll do one of the regular coaches, and then we'll do the DVT, because I think pretty much all of the centre coaches, they are pretty much the same. There might be the odd difference here and there, but for the most part, they are going to be the same. So if we try and take out one of these bottom ones, be really, really careful. There we are. So if we put the tray to one side quickly, be very, very careful. There we are. And then we can have a look at one of the coaches. Get the camera to focus again. There we are. Now I'm not going to say anything for a moment, so I'm just going to pan it past the camera and I'll let you use your own judgment. I think you'll agree these are some fantastic coaches. Accurascale really have gone all in with these. They are absolutely fantastic. And all for a bargain price as well. Obviously it's not cheap, but considering what you get, the value for money here is absolutely fantastic. I believe the RRP, I think it was about £220, something like that. You think there are some locos out there that cost more than that, and here you're getting 5 absolutely fantastic, really high quality coaches, full lighting package, and yet this and yet they cost less than a loco. I think that really does say something. The bogies turn very nicely as well. They're probably the smallest bogies I think I've ever seen on a model. They really are tiny, but they feel very, very good. So they turn very well. The underframe detailing is absolutely fantastic. It's all not just one gigantic molded piece. It's all separately applied. It's all separately painted. Even the grills on the bottom here, they're proper grills, and there's detail behind them as well. The interior is fully painted. It's not probably maybe as good as it could be, but you have got separately painted tables. The seats are a separate colour. It's not too bad. Now the destination blinds are one thing with these. in that you have to fit them yourself. As we can see, my friend has fitted the Scarborough ones. I can't remember exactly what the other destination is, but there's a few, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 different destination labels that you can put in there. They're fairly easy to put in. I think maybe a little bit of blue tack or glue or something, and they go in fairly easily. But I would be careful when doing it. So obviously you don't want to mess it up, because otherwise that will just ruin the coach. But these have been fitted very, very nicely, and they look very, very good as well. The doors don't look too bad either, and the logo looks very, very good. The livery's been applied very, very well. I have to ignore my thumbprint there on the window. The interior lights, the door looking light there looks very, very good. You can see the LED strips in there for the interior lights, and obviously they'll turn on later when we put them on the track. I think one thing with these is that the capacitors, I think, whilst it is nice that accurascale made them last a long time, I think they last a bit too long, because I think it's well over a minute these last for, maybe even longer than that in some cases. And I think one problem with them is that on the DVT, the directional and the destination board lights on the end of the model, they're not connected to the capacitor on the inside, so they do flicker quite a lot, mainly because the pickup design on these, it's not the best in my opinion. As we can see, all of the coaches have the same pickup design. As we can see there, we've got these sort of bearings there, and you can just about see behind there the wiper pickups. Well, I say wiper pickups, they're more, well, they're not completely wiper pickups, not your usual type anyway. And they literally just contact that bearing there. So only half of the wheels per coach pick up power, which, to be honest, on a brand new model like this that costs this much, I'd say it's not that great. I know obviously it does work well probably with some people, but certainly with this pack, even with the wheels clean, the pickups clean, track clean, even if everything is as clean as it can be and everything's making good contact, the light is still flicker, which obviously that's not really very good, is it? I think all-wheel pickup could have been done on at least on the DVT. I'd say on these coaches it's fine, because the interior lights have a capacitor, so they work well. But I think either accurascale should have done all-wheel pickup, or they should have connected the directional lights and the destination lights on the DVT to the capacitor. Because as it is, I think it's not too good. I think the quality isn't quite up to standards, or at least it's not all there. It's still very, very good, don't get me wrong. The coaches do look, and they've been built incredibly well. But I think in terms of the lighting and the way it's been done, I don't think it's quite as good as it could be. But only very, very minor complaint there, to be honest. Overall, it's not too bad. It does work mostly well, but certainly when running, the lights do flicker a bit, and we'll see that later when we get the model running. But overall, there's no major complaints. The detail is fantastic. It's all applied beautifully. None of it's loose, none of it's fallen off. There's no glue marks anywhere. Overall, it's really, really good. The couplings are NEM, and they are kinematic couplings, as you can see there, and they move very, very well as well. The magnetic couplings, I don't think these couplings come fitted as standard. I do believe you have to fit these yourself, and I'm pretty sure actually in the instructions it even specifies that you're not even supposed to use these for running. I think they're more for display purposes, but they run around my layout absolutely fine, and that's with third radius curves. Maybe in second radius, I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 areas, but certainly on third radius curves, these couplings move and they work absolutely fine, no problems at all. And they couple the coaches properly close together. You could not get any closer, trust me. It's really, really good. But overall, yeah, I can't really complain, to be honest. It's really, really nice. So if we put that coach to one side, we'll grab the DVT out of the box quickly, have a quick look at it. And there we are. So here is the DVT, as we can tell, obviously, by the cab on the end. The buffers are sprung. I thought they weren't for a second, but they are. So we've got sprung buffers. You've got the detail on the buffer beam there. I do believe you have to fit that yourself, but it does look very, very good. Got all of the pipes, the electrical cables. I think even maybe a 3-link coupling there as well, which looks very, very good. Obviously, all of the lights work. So you've got the head and tail lights on the clusters there, and the headlights on the top there. The destination board there with Scarborough on it lights up, and it works very, very well when it's not flickering, which is about 50% of the time. Obviously, the bogies, again, they feel very, very good, and they turn very nicely. The underframe detail is just as good as it was on the other coach. Again, you have to ignore my fingerprints. I will wipe them off at some point. Again, the destination blinds that you have to fit yourself. Overall, it's really, really nice. You can see the interior lights are inside there again. Overall, these are some fantastic coaches. Definitely some of the best value coaches you can get on the market. They are really, really nice. I've just run out the windscreen wiper there. It doesn't quite touch the windscreen, but it's fine. Not really going to notice that. Overall, these coaches, they are fantastic. I really cannot fault them. Apart from the slightly dodgy pickup design, or because the lights haven't been connected up to the capacitor, apart from that minor issue with the lights, overall, these coaches, they are fantastic. They're really, really nice. They're brilliant. They're brilliant value for money. They're really, really great detail. The quality is amazing, and they perform really, really well as well. So I think what we need to do is we need to get them on the track, see how they run, get a loco coupled up to them, and we'll see really how they perform. Okay, so here we are. So the coaches are already on the track. I didn't think you'd really need to see me putting coaches onto the track, because that would probably be a bit boring. But they're on, they're ready to go. Now quickly, before I show you the functions, I thought I'd just show you actually how close together these coaches actually couple. If I just bring the first two around, hopefully you can see there, if I just turn the camera slightly for you. We are on a slight curve here, but literally the gangways are pretty much touching there, and you literally can't get any closer than that, and they don't even derail going around corners because of the kinematics. If I just move the camera around for you again. Oh, there we go, this is going around a third radius curve. As we can see, the kinematics, they allow the coaches to go around perfectly. There's no clashing of anything, everything moves nice and freely, it's also nice and smooth. A really, really amazing design there from accurascale. Anyway, if we just bring the coaches back round, put the camera back down again, let's have a quick look at the functions. If I just bring the camera a bit closer for you, there we are. Let's bring the coaches back a bit more. Okay, there we go. So function 0 is obviously the regular running lights. If I just put those on, we can see there we've got the top headlight there and the headlights lit up there. If we change direction, hopefully you can see there the tail lights, they are on there, a little bit dim, they're not the best, but they are on, so that's good. Function 1 does the destination blind. There we go, you can see there it lights up and it looks very, very good as well. Now I'm not too sure if there are any other functions. I think there might be, I'm not too sure. Yeah, there we go. Function 2 does the cab lights, and I think that's it. There's only a few functions, but to be honest, again, how many do you need? I mean, you only need really a few, because there's only a few different lighting functions, but overall it's not too bad. Nice little range of functions. They all work very, very, very well, especially when the loco is running, when the coaches are running, that is. But anyway, there we go. We'll leave the destination blind and the running lights on. We don't need the cab lights on for this. Obviously, I am going to be running these with a class 68. I mean, what else am I going to do? Run them with a 37? No, it's got to be a 68 with these. This is what they mainly run with. It's not a DRS one. DRS. It's not a transpennine one though, because I don't have one. Because obviously I don't really need one. Because I don't really run that particular region. I do have a DRS one though, so that will do. So if we just get it coupled up to the coaches, just bring her forwards. There we go. She's a little bit further away from the coaches than I thought. There we go, all coupled up, ready to go. The rear coach does also have a magnetic coupling on it, but it's not an accurascale one. It is one of the hunt couplings, and the loco's also got a hunt coupling coupled to it. So if we just fire up the loco sound, because obviously she is sound fitted. And let's get them running. Well, I think you'll agree that these are some absolutely fantastic coaches. They run incredibly well, they look amazing. Well, I think you'll agree that these are some absolutely fantastic coaches. They run incredibly well, they look amazing, incredible price for what they are. It really is amazing. If another manufacturer did these, and a couple come to mind, they would likely be much more expensive than what they are, and maybe even in some cases not as a great quality, less features maybe even. But accurascale, they've really knocked their socks off with this. Apart from the dodgy lights, as you can see, because they are flickering every now and then when they shouldn't really need to. The track is clean, I promise you. The track is clean, the wheels are clean, everything is nice and clean. But the lights do still flicker from time to time, which isn't really that great. But apart from that, these coaches are the full package. I recommend getting some if you can. I believe they are sold out now though, unfortunately, but I believe accurascale are going to do another batch at some point. But if you do have some, or are planning to get some, I'm sure you'll agree that these are fantastic. Really, really amazing. And now let's have some ratings for the brand new 2-ounce Pen & Express mk5 coaches from accurascale. And overall, I think I just have to go out and say it. These coaches are absolutely fantastic, really, really amazing coaches. The detail is just up there, it's got to be 10 out of 10. The amount of detail that accurascale have put into these is just fantastic. Loads of separately fitted parts. The underframe looks amazing, the livery's been applied beautifully. I just cannot fault the detail, it's just amazing. Loads and loads of it, and it's been done incredibly well. Just top notch, really can't fault it to be honest. The performance is also really, really good. The coaches perform amazingly, they go around the corners really well, they handle the track perfectly. Even the coupling mechanism, it's just amazing, really close coupling. And when running, the coaches just run beautifully together, despite how close the coupled they are. They just perform beautifully, even on third radius, which is quite tight, obviously by modern standards I suppose, compared to obviously how gentle curves probably tend to need to be to make them more realistic. But even on these typical train set style curves, they just perform amazingly. I really can't fault the performance. The only thing I can't give 10 out of 10 to be honest is the quality. Whilst the quality is still really good, and the general build quality is really good, the models have definitely been put together very well and they look the parts. The reason I can't give them 9 out of 10 is just because of, I think, the pickup mechanism is not quite as good as it can be. Obviously when running, the lights do flicker a fair bit. When running, I think accurascale could have done slightly better with this. They could have done all-wheel pickup, they could have connected maybe the directional lighting and the destination board lights to the capacitor so they don't flicker and make them more stable. Just because of that small little niggle, I can't quite give the quality 10 out of 10. So I think for it to be a 10 out of 10 on quality, absolutely everything has to be perfect, and I think the pickup mechanism and then the fact that the lights aren't quite as good as they can be, that doesn't really quite scream a 10 out of 10 quality model for me. But apart from that, everything else is great. Again, the build quality is brilliant. Overall, it's not too bad, but again, those lights, they're not quite as good as I think they could be. The value for money though, it's got to be a 10 out of 10. The value for money here is just amazing. You get 5 absolutely amazing coaches, all for a really good price. I think the RRP for these was about, I think it was £220. I think for that amount of money, you definitely get what you pay for. It's really, really good. Always amazing quality, well, quality for money and value for money from accurascale. Really, really good. So that's an overall score of 9.75 out of 10. Overall, these coaches, they're absolutely fantastic. It's going to be really, really hard to beat these. Overall, absolutely fantastic models. If you want some, or you already have some, do you agree with me? Or if you're going to get some, definitely get some, because they're fantastic. Definitely worth the value for money.